No, I hear you. And your particular lane that you take, not a lot of people are taking. I mean, there are some, but like you and Fee and Pasta and Johnny at the combo couch. I mean, that's where yeah, I know. Shout out to Mikasa Sukasa. I learned about you through them because I think I was watching their show and you were a guest on, and you weren't talking about politics. You were talking about stuff that kind of I'd never really thought about before, and I love learning to learn in new ways. You know what I mean? I think I told Bess when she was on, I said I started off in politics like a Democratic, super fan. I was a fan of Bill Clinton, and now I just feel unclean. I feel like just, oh God, what was I? I feel like the drunk hoe right after the prom, who's like, giving hand jobs in the parking lot. I feel like that guy, that lady or guy, and because now that I've learned so much about what politics itself just seems to me like it's just a distraction now. I mean, like electoral politics, nothing is getting done, and the only way I think personally that anything's going to get done electorally is if someone comes out of direct action, that kind of person rises up, someone who is who shows you what a leader does, because what their actions are doing are inspiring people to do the same things. You know what I'm saying? And but like with your show, it just seems like you seem like you're about 3 steps ahead of everybody else, but it's like you said, it's you're not like some wizard or something, you're just paying the fuck attention, right? So I mean, when did all this start for you though?
Well, I was fortunate enough to grow up in a really boring town in the Midwest that was close enough to Deer Creek Music Center and close enough to the infamous Pine Lakes campground, to where when concerts would roll through and I had friends that were a number of years older than me, we would go. I was introduced to like good punk rock and real hip hop and clean LSD and Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell, like around the general same time, late 80s, early 90s. And got a hold of Behold a Pale Horse, like right when it came out. And once that's kind of the tail end of your formative years, there was a guy, I talk about it on the show sometimes. He was a newsman, a real newsman, had Cabal News Services, Travis T. Hip, and he would say, well, I took my retirement on the front end, now I'm gonna work until I die. And he did. He gave a news broadcast and went home and died in his sleep, at a very advanced age and after a number of health issues. But I took my retirement on the front end. That will get you a worldview that is inherently distrustful of politics, authority in general, certainly law enforcement, and most people.
Yeah, you mentioned what you were saying earlier about Coast to Coast AM and the Pale Horse. I remember when I worked out in Cali, I used to work at Borders Books, and I would always raid the what do they call it? It's like where all the UFO books and stuff like that were. Speculation, that's what they called it. But they had like a ton of David Icke books in there, right? So I started, we could check them out if we worked there. So I would take them home and start reading about it. One of the first fucked up things that I read about was how Donald Rumsfeld had managed to get aspartame legalized. Do you know anything about that?
I mean, it's nothing more really than a lobbying effort or something like that. But he was one of the people that was instrumental in twisting the right arms or applying the right leverage. Outside of that, I'm not familiar enough with it. Like I remember seeing similar stories. I read the David Icke books the first time that I was ever exposed to the concept of the lizard people.
Mm.
It wasn't like David Icke doesn't like ease it in. He's like, yeah, I'm in the middle of a broadcast, and all of a sudden it dawns on me the world is being ran by shape-shifting reptilians, and it just sort of goes at it. And the pedophile George Bush and the pedophile, and like, boom, boom, they're fucking just sitting there punching you and punching you and punching you, and it's like, damn, doggy, like we could have,
he does
up to this, bro.
I know, right? How do you?
It's a lot. It is.
How do you segue though? I mean, it's like you're talking about like talking about stuff. That's what sucked me in was when he talked about like the aspartame, because I was like kind of interested of that at the time. I knew there was something up about it, like it was like kind of funky. Like I knew somebody that would just drink Diet Cokes till the cows came home and was just depressed as fuck, right? So I was like, there's got to be some connection. Yeah, so you're reading about all this stuff, and then all of a sudden the reptilians show up. You're like, oh man, why you gotta put Land of the Lost up in here, Dave, with the fucking slee stacks?